What's up, Vince Talk Nation? What's up, Dolphin Nation? Today we're gonna go and cover day 8. I apologize for the delay on the coverages, on the coverage for days, but been kind of slow over the weekend. Dolphins camp, offensive line depth, a concern on a big red zone day, plus stock up, stock down. This was from David Furones. The Miami Dolphins returned to practice Friday after a day off from drills Thursday. It was a heavy red zone day of work that also sprinkled some short yardage situation, one of the Dolphins' downfalls in 2024. While Miami's first-team offensive line looks good in camp, the reserves have struggled up front, leading to questionable depth on the line. Linebacker Jordan Brooks was the orange jersey practice player of the day on Friday's drills. Brooks was consistent with how he played on Friday. Running back Jaylen Wright was stripped of the football in the backfield as defensive tackle Zach Zeeler blew up a run. The ball popped up in the air and outside linebacker Bradley Chubb snagged it for a fumble recovery with a chance to take it back the other way. Wright rebounded in the red zone drills. Hitting the hole hard for a touchdown. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa in the red zone work Friday found him for a 3-yard touchdown to the right pylon. The two hooked up for another score of the same distance going to the other side. New cornerback Jack Jones had a red zone interception covering wide receiver Nick Westbrook on a throw from Zach Wilson. Wilson and Westbrook later looked to be working in tandem on a smooth pass over the middle of play action. Cornerback Stone broke up a third down pass from Tua to Hill. Tanner Connor went up over safety Jordan Colbert deep for a touchdown as Wilson lobbed it up for him. The throw was contested in the air, and the bigger Connor tipped it to himself. Fullback Alec Engel opened behind outside linebacker Jaylen Phillips on the first play of team drills, but Engel dropped the pass from Tua. Running back Devon Achane had a nice wide run to the left, where left tackle Patrick Ball didn't allow the edge to be sealed. Achane had a sizable gain on the end around after the play fake for an inside run. Running back Alexander Madison continues to hit holes with conviction. Players aren't tackling to the ground, but it'll be challenging for defenders to arm tackle him once he picks up a head of steam. Rookie running back Ollie Gordon II scored up the middle in red zone work while backup offensive linemen struggled. They worked well getting a push for Gordon in this instance. Wide receiver Theo Wees skied for a touchdown catch in the back of the end zone from quarterback Quinn Ewers over cornerback B.J. Adams. Ewers also threw a touchdown to tight end Farrell Brown. Wilson and Achane opened for a touchdown inside the 5, but threw behind them. He rebounded with a tougher throw for a touchdown to wide receiver D. Estridge in the back corner. Defensive tackle Matt Dickerson had multiple tackles for loss Friday. The veteran is making a strong case to reclaim a roster spot. Outside linebacker Grayson Murphy probably got to Wilson when he broke through unabated to the QB, but when extra time was granted in the practice setting, Wilson rolled and made a nice throw on the move to wide receiver Eric Azagama. Murphy later batted down a wide receiver screen to the outside by Ewers. Outside linebacker Quentin Bell blew up a tight end screen and then pressured the quarterback once he had to go elsewhere. Bell blew up a block in a one-on-one Friday. Defensive tackles Zeke Biggers and outside linebacker Derek McClendon combined for a solid run stuff in one-on-ones in the trenches. Paul continues to impress. He held off Chubb twice and later McClendon while guiding outside linebacker Robinson up the field on the outside speed rush. He had a competitive rep against outside linebacker Mokamara where he stonewalled him, but may have then held before driving him to the ground. In wide receiver DB one-on-one in the red zone, Duck was called for defensive holding in the end zone against Hill. Wide receiver Jaylen Waddle caught a touchdown over Adams. Westbrook got 2 touchdowns on Jack Jones. Jones also blanketed him on another instance where they were matched up. Wide receiver Malik Washington caught a pair of touchdowns on one-on-ones. One on Cornell Armstrong. Despite his pass interference, Andrew Armstrong also won against Cornell Armstrong. Ethan Marner was beat by both Weeze and A.J. Henning. Wide receiver Tyreek Black scored on cornerback Ethan Marner. Center Aaron Brewer still not dressed for practice, but he was seen stretching with the team for the first time. He also worked out on the side with a helmet on. Brewer was now placed on the physical, unable to perform list for his lower body soft tissue injury, so he could still snap footballs to Tua. Tight end Derek Waller and safety Ifatu Malufalo non-football injury list are yet to be activated. Kendall Sheffield was back on the practice field as Coach McDaniel said he would after missing one session Wednesday for undisclosed reasons. Safeties Ashton Davis and Dante Trader Jr., quarterback Isaiah Johnson, tight end Jaylen Conyers, and tackle Brian Matos were not seen participating Friday. Adams returned to practice in a non-contact red jersey. Kamara was seen walking under his own power, but with the trainer to an ambulance just off the practice field. The team spokesman said Kamara was okay. New offensive lineman Jaylen McKenzie exited Friday's practice early. Ewers started practice Friday by tossing a few footballs with fans in attendance and getting them thrown back into the net on the practice field. He was flanked by newly returning quarterback Brett Abbott in his effort. The Dolphins have rookies hype up the crowd to start practice opens to fans. Stock up. Cedar continues to shine, and he has not been holding back as he seeks a new contract extension. He blew up right run to force a fumble. He had a sack in the red zone setting and was in another where Phillips and Chubb also got home. And he's constantly commands extra attention. Also excelling in one-on-one drills. Pay the man. Stock down. Offensive line depth after the first team. Dolphins linemen are consistently getting blown up by the second and third units of Miami's defensive fronts, both on the interior and on the edge. Undrafted rookie Addison West again had a high snap in Friday's drills. It's becoming a theme for him. All right, guys, now we're going to go ahead and listen to the pressers from day 8. First presser is Mike McDaniel, then followed by Tyreek Hill, then followed by Ollie Gordon, then followed by Farrell Brown, then KJ Britt, then Theo Weeze, then Daniel Brunskill.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The video thing with the ball, for sure.
Do you like that they have it's computerized now? I don't know what it's called.
First down.
Thank you. The first down markers are determined by
With the ball?
by a
I think it
computer.
makes sense. I can visualize the technology that could make that happen. So, I think it's good. Unfortunately, are we going to have less players running into humans standing with metal sticks? Because if that's the case, I don't want any part of it.
I wanted to go inside your brain a little this morning. One thing that I was curious about.
Very invasive, bro.
I was curious about this. I know you said, in the season-ending press conference last year that fining guys for tardiness did not work. You're such a nice person who has forged good relationships with players. How much thought did you give early this offseason to whether you needed to become more of a jerk, more of an SOB, more of a hard-ass type coach? Is that something that you thought about? Could you take us through your thinking with that, and have you?
You're damn right I thought about it. No, I think, you are, in practice, if you're doing your job right, you're both assessing how you do things and how people receive things. I think it makes it pretty easy, with the nucleus of the team spearheading a motivated locker room to be accountable to each other. That for me, it's easy to evolve into what's best for the players. That's kind of been the journey of life. For me anyway, so is it hard for me to post in front of a team meeting people who got fined for doing something outside of what our standards are? No, at all. It's absolutely not. It's very easy. I think there's a lot of scars with professional athletes, and to gain their listening, you have to earn trust. And it's been notable how I've attempted to earn trust, with players, and that's not to be confused with setting out expectations and delivering on those. So I think, with time, and putting together the right group of people, it's very easy for me to hold players accountable, especially when they don't hear it wrong and know it's for their benefit. So that's I think I answered it, maybe.
No, it was a very good answer. So was there any thought you gave then to becoming a yelling tyrant, or did you immediately rule that out for all the reasons that you just stated in terms of your view of the best way to connect?
So in the vein of an adult temper tantrum based on how people perceive me, no, I would not be motivated by those things. I think I'm motivated by improving players and creating a winning football team, and the ins and outs of that, are the compass for how I adjust myself. But leaning into perception and perceived things, not totally based on day-to-day fact. I just I'm the best version of me, and I'm on a team with a bunch of coaches that mirror that, and this team in 2025 up until or through July has modeled that. So we'll see what August has for us.
Zach Sealer is a guy who could stage a hold in, but we haven't seen any signs of it. Seems like he's gone through every rep, 11 on 11, 1-on-1. Have you thanked him for that, or is that even necessary? How have you handled that with him?
Well, I think you define yourself by your actions, most of all in life. And so, I'm very aware that all players have a choice in what they do on a day-to-day basis, specifically with Zach, and his actions speak. So I see it, and I think his teammates very much recognize how Zach Sealer plays football and contributes to the building every day. And I think Zach has a vision of a team that I share, and he understands it as a leader. He's trying to show guys how he wants teammates to play football, and I'm excited every time I see Zach Sealer.
Tua told us last week Tyreek is still rebuilding his relationship with the team after how last season ended. How are you seeing that develop over the start of camp?
I'm seeing the daily investment. I'm seeing. I think it's a well-known fact that Tua is the leader of our team in the locker room as the franchise quarterback, and I think there's a lot to be said about a leader saying the hard things. I think there's a lot to be said about Reek and how clear they've been towards each other, so that these conversations that you can say these things and call a spade. I see that as grown man stuff. Ayla's watching. Grown man stuff like that is real. That relationships aren't created in a vacuum of dandelions and daisies. Relationships, real ones, ones that matter. You go through a process of earning and delivering on trust. So what I've seen is it's important. It's important to the players on this team that they are connected to each other, both on the football field and off. And when you have people going in that direction and focused on that, there's only good things that can come from that. So, so far so good. I see guys delivering on their words with actions.
Mike, Kendall Sheffield was out of practice on Wednesday. Can you provide an update on his status?
Are you going to practice today?
Did you go to practice today?
Are you going to practice today?
No. I'll watch practice.
Well, then the secret will lie with those. You'll see him at practice today. He was working through some stuff. He's at practice today.
How's Ollie Jordan's second doing?
Better than the first. You knew it was coming. No, it was the second. I think we've had two days of pads, and with the last one, I think Ollie, took the opportunity to kind of introduce himself to the team as a rookie running back in particular. A lot of guys are talented their whole careers, and the best play is snap, hand them the ball, right? Well, in the NFL, the position of running back expands a ton to get you the ball in numerous ways. And he is in the rookie process where he's learning by mistakes, and so far he's responded in a great way. You can't. You have to do right by the length of the season with rookies, and not overcook a successful day, and wish them into taking the foot off the gas. So I say that guarded only because so far so good. He introduced himself to his teammates with some pad level, as training camp goes. The battles will continue, and I think they know who he is today, and we'll see how he responds to that.
Mike, how is Matos doing? We know he's out of the hospital, but how's he doing?
He's getting better, and he's with his family and with the appropriate care. So that was the only thing that we cared about from the jump, is that the recovery continues to progress, and it is.
Any idea when we might see him?
No timetable. Not concerned with the timetable, but I will let you know when one exists.
Mike Alexander Madison has told us that you guys didn't kind of pigeonhole him or kind of define him as a short yardage back, that you've enabled him to do a lot of things. It looks to us like he's showing quick feet. He's made some double-digit runs.
Yeah.
Has that surprised you, or that's kind of what you thought?
Well, seeing as every run that he's had in camp, you can hear me yelling, wait, this isn't short yardage. Okay, so that that's the whole crew. All 90. There's a version that people have defined them as, put them in a box. I think Mad Dog himself is a great example of we allow your play to tell us who you are and how you adjust to coaching and how willing you are to invest in your game and your team. And so he's a great example as a veteran player who I think I'm hoping he knew that kind of box in that he's had, because that was the whole basis of my continued joke that I've been yelling at him. So, but I think that's the great thing about football and being on a team in the National Football League is a lot of people have a lot of opinions, and collectively you can work together so that individually you can define yourself where, perhaps in his case, in places that, people around the country have limited him and said he couldn't do. So I love that kind of stuff.
Patrick Paul has looked immovable in one-on-ones, including putting Chubb on the ground a few times. What's it been like to watch his growth?
Patrick Paul is having a very good camp, and that's because he had a very good 5-week training a period of time on his own that followed a great 8-week program of off-season. He I think he's been on a steady confidence climb, and it was very helpful getting ingratiated into the NFL game and being able to play behind Teron Armstead, one of the best to do it, and he is operating every day like he knows the NFL regular season is coming, and he wants to surprise people, just like it sounds like you guys are by one-on-ones. The players on the team, he has earned respect with being as intentional and deliberate as any player on the team. And you have a gigantic player with an athletic skill set that is attacking what really matters, not, hey, I blocked him, or hey, I didn't, but angles of sets, how to keep your balance, how you drive off the ball, landmarks, all of those things, pad level. He's all in to his game, and I think people are starting to see that on the practice field, and we hope that turns to the game.
When we heard from Tua last week, he said that early in his career, he used to kind of judge and gauge his practices based on results. I completed this many passes. I threw this many touchdowns. I didn't throw an interception. But recently, he gauges it based on 2 or 3 goals he sets for himself each day. Is that something that has been coached into him, or is that something that you've seen as a natural development within him as he's grown as a player?
That is a product of a lot of intentional, deliberate work, conversations. Myself, Frank Smith, Darrell Bevel, Bobby Slowick, but most notably Tua, because the game in general, but specifically for the quarterback, is quite literally handling noise. And when you are able to go through a practice and focus on specific things to your game and not results, you're training, kind of in sync with all the great people that are great at stuff. You have to. It is a daily challenge. He's working on stuff that, philosophically, I believe is gigantic for mastering NFL quarterback play, and that's the meat and potatoes of it. Working on identifying, working on something, so you improve, and sometimes the hardest thing in sports is adjusting to success or failure. And when you aren't, your motivation is not to do anything but get better, generally you get better. So I don't know about you. I'm fired up about him getting better. You fired up about him getting better?
Sure.
Come on, man. You don't love ball.
I see everybody doing well.
There we go.
Mike, when you have two guards and Jonah and James that have primarily played when at guard on the right side in their career before here, how do you decide who ends up what spot, given maybe both are their comfort zone?
Coins. We just flip them. No, there's a lot of things. You have to have a reason. The starting point is a reason. Well, when you have people that have both played right, you try people at who should be the left. I know you want me to tell the world, and I'm not going to, but not just yet. But I think you have to spread reps out and get guys comfortable, and to do that, you need to make them uncomfortable at the beginning. So you throw them in there, see how they react, but you don't try to all of a sudden make a rash decision. You think through, all right, can this get better? Because the first time you do anything is going to be the first time, and it's going to be its worst. So we mix it up, try to have a sound reason that we do things. For me, I wanted to get Jonah started at something. As a rookie, you have to reframe your game anyway, so it's important to get him work at left. James has had work at left in his life, and we'll see what comes of the reps that they're utilizing, both in walkthroughs and in practice. But for a rookie, we'll start him out at one spot, and then once he knows the offense and what he's doing, if there's an appropriate reason, we'll move him. Other than that, or we'll keep him there, or we'll play him at tackle. Who knows?
There's still a handful of marquee name cornerbacks available. Have you and Chris decided to bring any into the building for visits in the coming days?
We're always looking at improving the roster. I'm excited about the practice today, and we have the way the players have been developing. I have more than enough to keep my attention, but we're always one day away from making a move at any position, because we're constantly trying to improve the team, and that's part of it.
All right, guys, you spoke about a lot of stuff about the injured players. What intrigued me the most was Patrick Paul. He has a lot of confidence in Patrick Paul. He's saying he's playing good, even though they are testing him out in different positions: tackle, guard, left guard, right guard. But he's not going to edge in stone as to where he's going to be starting the season, at least not right now. And he spoke a lot about other stuff, but those are the two things. And they asked him about possible bringing a veteran quarterback in. He said he pretty much gave a coach speak answer about that. So we'll see what they do at the cornerback position, especially with all these injuries. Now, the next press conference is Tyreek Hill.
Just showing up, man. I feel like that's the most important thing, being consistent, coming out here working every day hard, just trying to get back to, that old form of myself, man. I think that's very important, and just holding myself accountable, man. I think, Tua comments were needed, you know what I'm saying? He's obviously the leader of our team, so he sets the standard. So I'm just trying to be the best teammate, best version of myself for this team I can be, man, every day. Showing up to meetings, coming out here every day, busting my tail in practice. I think it's important, man. So if you want to be able to leave a legacy, you got to be able to, consistently do those kind of things.
To that end, we've seen you make a concerted effort to be out here during the
Right.
Was that intentional? Was that part of that same thing of just holding yourself accountable?
I mean, yeah, man. I think it's very important because football is a team sport, and I think whenever whenever guys, are able to see me come out here and scratch with them, it just keeps the engine rolling. You know what I'm saying, with the whole team. So it is important. The one day I did miss though, I was just dropping the kids off to the pool. So I mean, besides that, I'm out here every day, dog.
Tyreek, for the longest time though, you were coming out after everybody. Is that because you're stretching inside, or what's going on there?
Nah, I was just trying to see what y'all was talking about on Twitter before I came out. That's a serious answer though. Was this last year? Yeah, that's a serious answer there. What? Did you want me to say more? You want me to expound on that? That's all I got to say. I just wanted to see what you guys were posting before I came out.
What does Mike talk to you and Waddle about before? It seems like it's very lighthearted before practice because of this stretching. What's he like before practice?
Nah, he always giving a man about our corners. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that our young guys are competing every day. I think that's important. Storm Duck is doing his thing. He stepped up real huge. Jack Jones is another guy. So just trying to keep the trash talk, you know what I'm saying, everybody motivated because we all know, man, training camp is hard, and it's important, you know what I'm saying, for us to be able to lean on each other, especially me being an older guy. I know how important it is to, motivate these young guys, trash talk them, and make sure that they are rolling at the very end of practice because essentially that's the fourth quarter, you know what I'm saying, and we need every guy playing hard, you know what I'm saying, playing with technique, fundamentally in the fourth quarter, like even when you're tired. So that's all he be saying, man, to me and Waddle.
Who talks the most trash on the team?
It's got to be me now. It's got to be me now since Ramsey gone. So, me.
We saw Chad out here. I was curious what you think about your 95 rating on Madden.
I told him it's straight BS. And Waddle also had some words too. Waddle was like, bro, me and Waddle said that we are boycotting Madden because it's basically some BS. But Chad came out here today. He seen me and Waddle work, so hopefully he boosts our ratings.
I wanted to ask you about the reputation of this team being a finesse team and the short yardage issues, the running game issues last year. How do you change that identity?
Take the run out on third down. What? You want to? That's my honest opinion. If it's third and short, he's not a power back. I be telling him that in the locker room, but he a power back. I love Devon though, but if I'm being honest, like that's why you got Jaylen Wright. That's why you got Ollie Gordon for those kind of situations.
Okay, but what about the reputation of the team being finesse?
Nah, man. I mean, everybody has opinions, man, outside of the building, man. But I think it's important that we continue putting good stuff on tape. I mean, as wideouts. It can be tough for me and Waddle to go in and try to, crack a safety or, block a linebacker essentially and then come back and try to catch a pass. But the mindset, it has to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be willing to go in and sacrifice yourself and sacrifice your body for your teammate. You know what I'm saying? And also for this team, man, so we can keep the drive rolling. So the mindset is there this year. You know what I'm saying? I see guys flying off the ball. I see receivers attacking linebackers, attacking safeties in the box. So the more reps that we get, the better we will be. So today we did short yardage. I wasn't able to pay attention, but whenever I go in here and watch film, I'll be able to assess it then. So.
And when you guys are running the ball well, how much do you see that helps free you and Jaylen Waddle on the outside?
That opens it up a lot, man, because teams aren't able to sit in cover two. I feel like last year teams primarily sat in cover two because they felt we weren't a run-first team. And a lot of teams, they played cover two. They disrupted me and Waddle at the line of scrimmage. And sometimes they put, 5 in the box, 6 in the box. And those are light boxes, man, and you should be able to run the ball in this league if teams give you those light boxes. So, like I said, this year I feel like Mike and Frank, they have done a great job of, emphasizing, the run game this year, emphasizing to the O-line how important it is to fire up the ball, use your hands, then also emphasizing to us too, though, how important it is to it takes 11 11 guys to like really break a long run. So those guys have been doing a great job.
Tyreek, you guys got a couple of new coaches. What has Robert Prince and Bobby Slowick brought to the pass game?
I tell you what, man, RP, man, Coach RP, he's been great. From the moment he has gotten here, he has been getting on me and Waddle nerve, since he's gotten here. But I think it's great, though, that accountability piece is something that, we needed, and then also pushing us every day. I think a lot of people know me and Waddle, like we're going to bust our tail each and every day, but having that extra piece and coach in our ear every single day reminding us that, we can be all pro, we can be pro bowlers, we can, help this team win playoff games is important also. Like we all need that sometimes. So, and as far as Coach Slow, he's been great too, as far as like route detail, where to be at for the quarterback. I think he has done a great job on simplifying for me and Waddle and then also the other guys on just this offense. Because at first, I'm going to be completely honest, I didn't understand the offense for the first 3 years of me being here. But this year, I feel like Coach Slow has explained it a lot. And, we're taking notes in the meeting rooms, which is great, something I've never done in my career. I'm taking notes in meeting rooms, even if I know it, I'm taking notes. So he's definitely helped us all, man. He's been great.
Any of the young corners, any of the young corners catch your eye so far?
Storm, he's doing a great job. He's been doing a great job. He's really patient at the line of scrimmage. He's strong, real quiet though. He's humble, and he wants to be great. Me and him had a conversation this offseason. He asked me, he was like, Reek, how are you able to stay in the league this long? What are some of the things you've done? And, I gave him my insight. And, as an older player, looking at a younger player, I was like, this dude going to be good in this league, dog, because he wants to be great. Comes to work every day, busts his tail, isn't scared to compete, goes against Waddle, goes against myself, and he's only going to get better. You know what I'm saying? So.
Tyreek, it's a copycat league. If teams see that they're having success with you and Waddle at the line of scrimmage and with cover two, how do you get them out of that? Is that the run game, or is that something that you and Jaylen can combat on your own?
It's a combination of a lot of things. It can be the run game, and then it can also, be just the creativity of, Frank and Mike, and also Slow, giving us like different release patterns. So it can be a whole different combination of things. We have a real good OC, a real good, game plan whenever we, go against teams, and you kind of know what team's identity is whenever you play against them. So those guys do a great job of, helping me and Waddle get open.
Last year, Johnny broke out as that third weapon in the pass game outside of you and Waddle. Obviously, he's gone now. Have you seen anybody that can try to step up in that role?
It's a lot of guys, man. Obviously, A-Chain can do a bunch of things in the backfield also as a wideout, but I'm seeing a lot of guys, man, who can make a bunch of plays. So right now, I feel like it's still early to tell. A lot of guys are making a lot of plays, but hopefully, Darren Waller. That's who I want.
All right, guys. You spoke a lot about the culture, the team. He was asked about them being a finesse team. He was asked about
the strategy you imagine.
The relationship between him and Tua being rebuilt, and mainly the 2 points I take out of it is: are they still a finesse team? Who's going to be the third wide receiver, and how his relationship with Tua is being rebuilt, and not only Tua, but the entire team. Next, presser, Ollie Gordon II, the rookie running back.
The first? Yeah. It's my dad. Okay. Yeah, my pops. That's the first, Ollie Gordon,
So what do they call you in the house?
So my mama, I don't really get called by my name. My mama, she either call me like Noon or Sunshine, stuff like that. And then like other people that like know my dad, they call me like O2 or OJ. So, kind of like that. I'm cool with Ollie. I like my name. That's something different.
You never been called Junior, right?
Junior, no, I actually don't like being called Junior. It's kind of against it. I'd rather be called the second. I feel like Junior is such a copy and paste. And I feel like the second, I kind of got my own identity. Everybody else kind of go by Junior, so I'm cool with going by the second.
You've had some good runs in camp. Are you pleased with how it's gone? First week?
You know, I feel like camp's been going great, you know, getting in there with my teammates, learning from my vets. Honestly, you know, I can't thank them more. You know, they take the time out their day to help me understand what I'm doing. You know, my coach helps me. You know, our line's coming together looking great. So, hey, I feel like camp's been moving great for us.
Every rookie running back always comes in here and says, okay, I know the playbook, and in year 2 they say, I didn't know what I was doing out there. What is the honest answer? Do you get it, or you just don't know what's going on?
So yeah, no, I definitely get it. Like I said, I can't thank my vets more. You know, like I said, my vets take the time out their day to help me. My coach takes one-on-one time with me. You know, I'm just glad I'm able to put my pride aside and actually ask my vets for help, you know, instead of acting like that stuck-up rookie. So, you know, I'm just glad I'm able to ask them for help. You know, they don't make fun of me for stuff I don't know. You know, they actually help me. So I feel like it's great being in the room with them and my coaches. So, yes, sir.
Do you think about where you are on the depth chart every day, or is that something that you think is a positive, or is that a negative?
You know, honestly, I don't really think about it. You know, at this time, it's too early to tell anything. And like I said, I'm here for the team. You know, whatever the team need me to do, I'm here to do. So depth chart not really in my mind right now. You know, it's about getting my offense down, being able to help my teammates, learning from my teammates, stuff like that.
You have a physical running style. Have you thought about, I know you don't probably know the reputation of this team, but they want to change the reputation to be known as a physical, not finesse team. How do you do that?
I mean, like I said, you know, it's getting the ball downhill. That's really what, like you just basically just answered it. You know, it's getting the ball downhill. And like I said, whatever the team, I'm here for it. Whatever we need to do, you know.
I know you would never say this, but some draft analysts said one reason for the drop in production last year was the offensive line. Was there anything that you studied in your game, anything technically that you noticed that you did in 2023 that you didn't do as well in 2024, which you've worked on with Coach Stoozville, or just on your own?
I would say in 23, you know, I was just getting the ball running downhill. You know, honestly, 24, I felt like I was trying to make it more of like a home run. You know, I was trying to make it something instead of just taking what they gave me. And I feel like working with Coach E has been great. You know, he's helped me, telling me everything that had to be a home run, take a little 4 or 5 yards and going about your day, you know. So I feel like he's helped with that, honestly.
How would you assess that short yardage period there towards the end of practice?
I feel like it was great for us, you know. We had like 4 or 5 different backs in, and we all moved the ball great. You know, O-line was pushing the line of scrimmage down the field, so that was great also. Can't go wrong with that.
You mentioned the offensive line a couple times. What stands out about that group for you?
It's just like, you know, we got a bunch of different people coming together on different teams. You know, it's not the same exactly O-line that it was last year. So, you know, we got some different faces in there, and you couldn't tell that we just started playing together.
Is it safe to say that you feel more like yourself than 2 years ago than last year? And if so, in what ways?
I would say, yeah, it is safe to say that. You know, I just feel like I said, just talking to Coach E and getting back to the basics from 2 years ago, like I said, not trying to make everything a home run. I feel like I was too focused on trying to make everything go score instead of just taking what they were giving me.
First training camp, has it been standard? Any surprises for you?
I ain't expect us to be at the facility this long, for real. You know, in college fall camp, you get in there, you're there for a couple hours, you probably leave earlier than what it is. But, you know, here now, you actually here doing something hour to hour to hour. You know, it's real.
Do you have to go to class here?
Nah, yeah, you don't. You don't. That's low-key a plus, though. I'm not mad about that.
What's been the moment that you've been maddest at yourself? Was it the fumble you had? I know everyone fumbles. Was it that one? What moment were you maddest at yourself about so far in camp?
Coming out here?
Yeah.
I would probably say, yeah, when I fumbled. You know, me fumbling is just not me. So, and then putting the ball on the ground in front of my teammates, especially in front of my vets, you know, they probably look at me like, oh, yeah, he does this on the regular. So I would say trying to get back from changing that from being the regular to not losing the ball.
I couldn't find out your last fumble even in a game. It seems to have gone back a while. Do you remember? Last one in a game?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Yeah. Any last year that you remember?
I think I had one last year, probably beginning of the season.
Good deal.
How are the vets holding you accountable? Like, what does that process look like?
You know, so we just talking about the fumble. After that, you know, all the D linemen, all the O linemen coming up to me. The D linemen, you know, they push me every day. They tell me, like, I'm going to take the ball from you. Like, they tell me that. And then, like, I'll say another way they hold me accountable. Every time a ball on the ground after practice, I come to the locker room and they're like, that was you? That was you? Like, nah, bro, that wasn't me. But, you know, it's just stuff like that, you know. I feel like I got to take care of the ball to earn their trust and be able to be with them, you know.
What's Alexander Madison like in that process? Because he's the most veteran.
Yeah, I would say he's great. You know, I love Deuce. He's a great person. You know, when I'm cut to the sideline and I don't see anything out there, he comes, he helps me. he'll tell me certain things like, maybe you do this better, it'll be better for this, or, push the landmark more. And it's just stuff like that. It's never him talking bad. It's always him trying to uplift me and help me out.
We see Devon trying to race angles out here at a pretty ridiculous rate. Now that you've had a chance to be up close and personal with him, what stands out about this game?
You said Alec?
Devon
Oh, Devon? Devon's just a great leader, He might not look like he talk a lot, but he's a great leader, great guy. Like I said, anytime I need help, he helps me. And I didn't realize how fast he was till I actually seen him run for real out here. I was like, okay.
Is it tough to kind of put yourself in his shoes on film because maybe we don't have that extra gear that Devon has? I don't know if anybody does in the league.
I tend to not put myself in other people's shoes and stay more in my lane and, just learn certain things from him. I still can learn from him. Even though I'm not as fast, I can still learn from him now,
All right, guys. Basically, he was talking about his experience and the difference between college and what he's learned from some of the vets on the team and how they hold him accountable. That's basically what all he spoke about on the presser. Next person is Burrow Brown.
How has this camp been for you with the new team and your role? I mean, easy adjustment or taking a little time?
This camp's been great for me. In the heat, best shape of my life. A lot of learning, but I've been loving it. Helped me out in the long run. A lot of my game has just been heart, will, aggression. Now Mike and Coach Embry preach a lot of technique. So finally being in an offense that has a technique and an identity that I'm able to learn help me prolong my career to year 16 coming soon.
How would you measure that growth from where you were back at the start of camp to where you feel like you are now?
Night and day for sure. And still not there yet, but that's why we're out here practicing and just trying to get more time on task and drilling it home and every chance I can get to get better.
Blocking has been your calling card so far in your NFL career. How much of a bonus would it be for you to be involved in the passing game within this season?
I got my vision is to be the best blocking tight end and win a lot of games. And the way I see it, if you end the game running, that means you're winning. So catching balls and all that is cool, but I want to win and I'm going to be the best blocking tight end this year. So everything else is a bonus. And if I get a couple balls, I thank God and be grateful and just keep winning.
Can you break that identity, being the best blocking tight end? Can that prolong your career?
It's going to prolong my career. Like I said, when I was undrafted in 2017, I knew that I wanted to play. Longevity was my thing, and you just had that vision and that dream. And being undrafted, going in, trying to last tight end, $2,000 in to come in for a tryout, year 16 don't look promising. But I just keep my head down and keep working. And I tell myself, as long as I'm getting better and better and better, that's the only thing you can do. And when I turn my film on from now to then, I can see the growth, and the growth is going to continue.
All right, guys. Basically, talking about why he came here and what the tight ends coaches have taught him here, and he's trying to just be the best blocking tight end he can be. Next person, KJ Britt.
KJ, how do you keep up with Gay's energy out there? I mean, it's hot for you guys, and he's out there dancing. So how do you keep up with that?
Well, I just knowing Willie. I've been knowing Willie since I was in high school. So just to play with Willie and just to know Willie from high school, he ain't changed. And just the love and the passion he has for the game is contagious. So I feed off of it. I love it, and I love it when he bring it.
I think that hit at the end of practice was the loudest I've heard the pads pop all week so far. How does it feel to kind of get behind the pads and let one loose like that?
Oh, it felt good. Just making sure to take care of my teammates. Just wanted to thud them and just let them know I was there and just let's practice. And but it felt good to play football. It's been a long time coming. Can't wait to put the pads back on from last year to now. And I'm just happy to be here.
Pharaoh talked about the physicality of the team a little bit earlier in that short yard situation. To kind of give us an evaluation. How would you say that period went from a defensive perspective?
I went good. Just to see the want-to in guys and to see the want-to in your teammates, and just to know that short yardage can win and lose a game. 3rd and 1, you got to have it. 4th and 1, you got to have it. Everybody started going 4 on 4th down. So, we know that short yardage is a big part of the game. Learning who we can count on.
How hard is it to flip that script, kind of sort of show some intensity, but they are your teammates, so you don't want to pop them too hard?
I mean, it's football. And, it's just, you don't want to hurt a guy or just try to go in there and tackle a guy or just practice bad habits, but you want to get your head across, thud, let the ball carry you run, and just that's just how you learn how to practice. Being in this league 5 years, that's how we just learn how to practice day in, day out.
Being in top Bulls defense your career before this, have you drawn any comparisons, similarities, differences to what we just asked you guys to do?
Yeah. It's a lot. It's different from Coach Bo's defense. A lot less fire zones, and just some of the calls, can translate because it's all defense, so it's all ball. But just playing in that defense and coming over here, it's a lot less fire zones and a lot more shells. So it's a little different.
KJ, a question and a follow-up if I can. Tell me about the inside linebacker depth. It might be the deepest, best position on the team. What are your thoughts on what you guys have shown out there?
Yeah, we in this room, we just having fun. Like you said, great depth, all great players. And every day we set a standard in this room, and we want to abide by it. All of us grown men, all of us know what it takes to be in this league. I've always been in this league for a while. And so we all know what it takes, and we got to bring it each and every day, and it's just our standard, And
then as a follow-up, with that depth comes a battle for playing time, and we know that Jordan Brooks led the team in tackles, Terrell led the team in interceptions. You and Willie, are you wondering how I'm going to fit in, or do you stress about that?
No. If you stress about what stuff you can't control, you're going to be worrying about stuff you can't control. My job is, and everybody else's job is, just come to practice every day. Do your job. Let people who make the call. But you can't worry about stuff that you can't control, because then it just don't go well. So you just want to go each one day at a time, do your job, and just be ready to play when your number called.
In your opinion, who are some of the guys that when they put on pads, it just seems to change a little bit, for the better?
I think the whole team is like that. Everybody in this locker room, we play and we joke around because it's football. T-shirts and helmets is a little different from pads. So I think the whole team is this is first and foremost, this is one of the best teams I've been a part of, just as far as the speed-wise, physicality. Just this offense is very, very, very tricky. And it challenge you. Challenge defensive player eyes, challenge your leverage, your speed, your quickness. So it makes us overall better players just practicing versus offense every day.
KJ, you mentioned the physicality. A lot of outsiders have criticized this team for not being physical enough. What have you noticed about the physicality out there?
I don't see no. You see guys firing off the ball. Like you said, you hear practice. You hear it loud. I haven't seen that, and I don't plan to see it.
What did you think about that Jordan Brooks playlist?
Man, he was vibing. I looked over there and told him, man, you vibing, because me and JB, we talk a lot, and our music choice, like you said, I love the old school, love the gospel. That's just how you vibe. So I loved it.
Vibe with practice?
Huh?
Slow songs practice?
You gotta get your. For me, it brings you back down, because you can start thinking too fast, and to play this game, especially linebacker, you gotta be slow and smooth and relaxed. You don't want to get started thinking too fast. So for me, those old school vibes, it brings me back down, helps me relax, helps me focus, and like I said, I can't speak for the locker room, but it was good for me.
All right, guys, that's what KJ Britt had to say. Next person, Louise.
Catching passes from Tua, what's been the impression of how catchable a ball it is? Has that been a smooth adjustment from a lefty quarterback?
So I played with a left-hand quarterback before. I actually played with Dylan Gabriel before. But, he throws perfect. I'm not just saying that he's my quarterback. So, he throws perfect. So if we drop it, it's on us 9 times out of 10 for sure.
Will there be disappointment if you're not on the 53? If they keep you, I say only on the practice squad, it's still a job. It seems like at the very least you'd be there. But if you're not on the 53, will you feel disappointment?
No. I just go back to work. There's nothing to be disappointed about.
What about Quinn Ewers? Same question as Tua. What's it like working with him?
It's been fun. We kind of got a somewhat Texas connection. It looked like we've been clicking a little bit. Both of us been from Texas, but Quinn's been looking real good. It looks like he's getting more comfortable and confident in offense.
4 undrafted receivers in the room. You and Anthony, both got good guarantees, shows how highly regarded you were around the league. Have you all bonded at all? You and Andrew, I say Anthony because the Dolphins used to have a receiver, Anthony Armstrong. You and Andrew. You guys bonded?
Yeah, we bond pretty well. You know, he's from Texas too as well. So, you know, it's all competition, but it's all love at the end of the day for everybody in the room. So, yeah, we bonded for sure.
All right, there's your thoughts on from DOEs. Now, Daniel Brunskill, he was brought in for depth. So let's see what he had to say. Then I'll post some images from Twitter and let you guys know who the orange jersey of the day was.
Avon Brewer at all? What's the impression you get out there?
Yeah, no, I love Brew. Brew was with me in Tennessee for a year. Awesome guy. He's a hell of a player. Love watching him play. He's so much fun to watch. And me and him get along great. It was awesome talking to him. We connected while I was in Tennessee and he was here last year. And it was awesome to see him here. And he's a good friend of mine.
Are you pleased with how you've done first couple of weeks of camp?
Yeah, there's a lot to improve on, trying to get back in the system a little bit. In Tennessee, it was a little bit more lateral, less attacking the line. So I kind of had to break that from my old experience with the Niners. And then now it's like breaking back into it. So trying to get more downhill movement and stuff like that, get into the line, attack the line of scrimmage. Just kind of get back to those movements and then just trying to get that. You would think it's really easy, but like once you get your body mechanics trained a certain way and then you got to train them back, it takes some time. So it's, still working on that, still trying to improve each day.
Could you play tackle? Kind of like an evolution of how Mike is running things, where he has been more lateral in the past, right?
No, I mean, in San Fran, we would attack the line of scrimmage a lot. I mean, they do a really good job here. Plus, they have like very fast backs. In San Fran, we did have Raheem like early on, and then those other guys, they weren't slow by any means. I'm not trying to say, but they weren't Raheem. So then it was kind of a little slightly different. But I'm here. I mean, you guys got speed here. There's a lot of freaking speed here. So the more we can attack the line of scrimmage, those guys make big plays, and that's what's great about this offense.
Forgive me. Besides center and both guard spots, can you play tackle on a pinch?
I've done it before. I know that's probably the not most ideal thing from coaching staff. But if that was need be, I know all the positions very well. And then I would just probably try to use my IQ to get those positions down. And I think in these types of offense, it's a little bit better than you would think, just because we tend to get the ball out. Like that's our objective. We take more aggressive sets than most teams, so we're not just setting off the ball, eating bull rushes and dropping back to 10 yards. So it's a little different here. So that tackle, I mean, if that was need be, I think I could do it.
Every year there are dozens of NFL players who've started a lot who have to adjust to the likelihood of becoming backups. Obviously here with James Daniels and Jonah and Aaron, who would project to be a backup role. Is that hard to adjust to at this stage of your career? How have you handled that possibility should it work out that way?
No, that's how my career started. So, I mean, my whole career and why I'm in the NFL is being ready to go on a short notice, not knowing if you're going to start that week. Guy goes down in the middle of the game and you got to go run in there. That's how I started at all 5 positions in the NFL. In the regular season game, I didn't know I was going to go play left tackle. All of a sudden, the tackle, I mean, his leg was killing him. We were on our second tackle in San Fran, and all of a sudden I'm playing left tackle against the Green Bay Packers. And then next week I start against Baltimore. Same thing with left guard. When I got my starts at guard, wasn't expecting that. All of a sudden, guy goes down, you got to go in there and play. So, I mean, I've been able to move around. My first start at center, I was starting right guard. We have a Thursday night game. They tell you on Tuesday, our first practice day, that, hey, you're going to start at center this week. So it's kind of just one of those things. You just got to be ready to go.
You're an undrafted player?
Yes.
What would you tell an undrafted offensive lineman who was seeking advice? Like, hey, what would give me a chance to survive in this league for a while?
Kind of like what he was just asking. I think versatility for those guys. I mean, you're not a drafted guy, and so I mean they see talent in you. You wouldn't be here if they didn't. But you got to make yourself like needed. You got to, the coaching staff's got to see you and say, hey, we need that guy. We can't just have that guy. We need that guy. And so you got to be able to be versatile, show a lot of different position work, and then be able to go in a short notice. And once you go in there, be able to know what the hell to do. That's the biggest thing, I think. A lot of guys, they're good players. They show great things in camp. And then as soon as they got to go in there or something changes, and they weren't really ready for that, they kind of struggle in those moments. And I think those guys just kind of be ready for those kind of moments. You got to be ready to go, know your stuff, and if you can go in there and prove that you know what to do consistently. I mean, I'm not saying you got to be perfect. There's nobody in this game that is perfect. You can look at the best player in the game, Trent Williams. I played next to him. He's an awesome player, one of the best tackles I've ever seen in my life. And, you know, even he messes up, like in basic stuff too. It's just like you kind of got to just be ready for that and be as consistent as you can. And then, you know, strive for perfection, and then, you know, you're not going to get there, but do everything you can to do that.
As somebody playing multiple positions, how difficult is it to go from one side to the next, not knowing, you know, which side you're going to step in on?
It's pretty difficult. I always tell guys I think it's actually more difficult to flip sides than it is to go from outside in, just because like your hip's so trained to be like locked on one side, and then you got to open up a different hip. So that's, to me. But you know, everybody's got different things. Some guys are better at that, and then they just kind of struggle with some stuff. But I think the biggest thing is just trying to get reps. The more reps you can get, and then put it in your mind like that, and then, you know, once you know you're going to go do that, just kind of keep practicing that and try to do the best you can to just get those body mechanics, because what people don't understand is body mechanics is a big thing. You know what to do a lot of the time. It's just your body's not doing what your brain's telling it to do sometimes. And so you're kind of, you know, you work off of instincts, and when we're working that fast like we do, it's hard to get your body to do exactly what you like. You know what you're trying to do, but getting your body to do it is kind of hard sometimes.
All right, guys, there you go. The thoughts of Daniel Brunskill. Let me go in and let me go in and pop up some clips for you guys, and also tell you who the orange jersey of the day was. Orange jersey of the day was Jordan Brooks. I'm gonna pop up some clips, and also I'm gonna pop up the clips at the beginning of practice where Quinn Ewers was throwing balls into the stands to play with the fans while practice got started. Also, Teron Armstead was at practice earlier today, helping out the offensive line. Again, like always, leave me your thoughts down below. And what do you think of training camp day 8? And like always, stay positive, stay on your grind, and go Dolphins.